We can see why supermarkets, pharmacies, and gas stations are deemed essential and should stay open during the coronavirus pandemic, but criticism is growing over spikes in alcohol and recreational marijuana sales after liquor stores and dispensaries were also allowed to remain open for business.
Joining us via Skype, attorney Harry Nelson. He's the best-selling author and founder and co-managing partner of Nelson Hardiman, the largest specialty healthcare law firm in L.A. Welcome. Good to see you again. This time from home, I assume.
Yeah, great to. I'm in my home office. Great to be with you guys virtually.
All right, terrific. Let's start with marijuana. Why are dispensaries considered essential?
So it's a double-edged sword here. A part of the issue is that the state is concerned about certain businesses that may be vulnerable and that may not survive well if they don't keep their doors open. And then the other issue is just addressing a human need to help people get through this crisis.
There's also been complaints that people will see folks hanging outside of the dispensaries. They're not using the proper social distancing. And so they're saying, well, why keep these dispensaries open to sell adult recreational use marijuana?
Right. So there's two sides with the dispensaries. We have medical marijuana, where people are actually using for specific medical purposes, and then the adult use, what some people call recreational use. And there have been complaints that marijuana use, adult use can be social, and there have been people seen socializing, which obviously is totally contrary to public health orders and just a terrible idea. The dispensaries that we've spoken to are generally having pickup orders, allowing people to come in either one at a time or to pre-order and have orders ready for them when they show up.
Let's talk about liquor and wine shops and dispensaries. What are the measures people are taking to make sure that it's safe if you do decide to buy?
Look, so I think it's a real here also a balancing act. I think there's a risk of unhealthy use. We're seeing sales are up with both alcohol and cannabis. The numbers I've heard across the industry are about a 20% increase. So a lot more use going on, a lot more risk of violence. We're seeing some domestic violence linked to the surge in alcohol sales, more risk of accidents. It's not a good time to be showing up at a hospital with a need that's not related to COVID-19. And so there are those health issues. And then there are, of course, the standard issues. When you go into stores, you should be wearing face masks. People should be going in at very low volume and being able to have socially distanced experiences, whether it's a pickup or an actual shopping experience.
Are there any other factors for allowing dispensaries, liquor shops, wine stores to remain open?
Well, so I mentioned that, there's a concern that some of these businesses are vulnerable and may not reopen. We have a very young industry here in California. It's only been the last 2 years that we've allowed stores to open, and they've been hit hard. The legal stores have been hit hard by taxes. So there's an opportunity for the state, which has not gotten the tax revenue that it wants, to get more tax revenue. There's also a chance for these businesses to stay on their feet and hopefully keep more people employed and keep their doors open through this crisis. So I think that's another factor in the background.
And do you have a sense, and maybe you don't, but do you have a sense of whether there has been an uptick in business and are people trying it for the first time or that sort of thing?
Yeah, so a couple of things. So first, when we saw the first kind of panic and hoarding behavior with toilet paper, we also saw it for cannabis. We heard reports that 4/20 is the big shopping day of the year in cannabis, and there was a huge surge. And then we heard that there were slowdowns, but overall we were hearing a 20% increase, and a lot of people who are really struggling with isolation and loneliness who are turning to cannabis. I've heard people refer to it as the cannabis virus rather than the coronavirus. So I think for better and worse, it's not, it may not be the healthiest choice, but people need options to help them get through this difficult time.
Right, and you touched on the fact that there's the idea that maybe what some of us are doing is kind of this stress-related substance abuse, right?
Right. So, in a perfect world, we'd all be doing, we'd be meditating and just really, taking
exercising,
time, But part of the reason we have alcohol in our society is a recognition that there is a place for self-medication. The challenge that it creates is it opens up a door that we have to be very careful of, and a lot of people need to be looking for resources to make sure that they're not using in an addictive way and in a dangerous way.
All right, Harry Nelson, the author of 2 best-selling healthcare books and the founder and co-managing partner at Nelson Hardiman, specialty law firm for healthcare providers. For more information, you can check out their website. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank
Harry.
you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right, coming.